Have you ever noticed how some nights seem longer than others? As the clock ticks slowly, there we are with our eyes open, trying to fall asleep, but our minds won't cooperate. The tired body just wants a night's rest, but worries insist on parading around in the head. And then, in the morning, we wake up with that feeling. It feels like we didn't even sleep. The curious thing is that with each decade, it seems that this phenomenon becomes even more common, especially after the age of 55. Today, I want to tell you a secret that many people are ignoring. That mild, almost invisible anxiety that comes before sleep can be tamed with a simple ritual, the kind that fits into any routine. Here, you will understand how to transform the final minutes of the day into allies for a peaceful night. No magic formulas, no complicated practices, just an easy nighttime ritual capable of releasing tension and restoring that pleasant sleep just like a long time ago. You will discover what to do to avoid waking up in the morning with that feeling of heavy shoulders, and all without relying on expensive medicines, apps, or fancy measures. The topic is more important than it seems. As the years go by, the nights offer a delicate balance. They are the time where the mind and body need together to find tranquility. At 55, many people have already collected achievements, taken care of their family, and life plans. We also learn the weight of worries that seem greater at night. When sleep fails, the next day is unforgiving, tiredness, irritation, and even that back pain that no one explains properly. More than ever, talking about how to take care of your emotions before going to bed is crucial. And it's not magazine talk, no. Science proves it. And here's something that takes you by surprise. More than 40% of people over 55 have difficulty sleeping because of the worries of the day. That's right. Almost half of mature adults wake up in the middle of the night, often feeling a tight chest or reliving some annoyance. Have you thought? It can be said that, unlike the old radio that so livened up the nights in past decades, today what doesn't leave us alone are persistent thoughts. Before, you just had to find the right tune and tap it on the side, and everything worked. Now, the fine-tuning we seek is from the inside. Replacing the interference of thoughts with silence and calm became a challenge worthy of a marathon. Here comes an image that has been with me for a long time. I think of worries as if they were embers in a fireplace at the end of the day. When we were young, we barely noticed their heat. Now, if we leave these embers burning, smoke takes over the environment. In practice, it seems small, just one thought there, another here, but when they accumulate, they create a suffocating atmosphere just when you want to relax. The secret is to put out those embers before bed. It was a forgotten tradition, but it can be rescued. I remember nights when I rolled back and forth, like a child who wanted to listen to the radio while hiding from his mother. But instead of funny stories, the head brought bills, commitments, and that silly disagreement from last week. We all know how difficult it is to sleep in this climate. The pillow seems even harder. The sheet doesn't find its position, and time seems to drag by. That's why this talk about nightly rituals makes so much sense. In the next part, you will understand the exact effects that a night like this has on the body and mind, and learn a story from someone who has been through it. First, I ask for a moment to breathe. After all, each piece of information like this can bring back memories, and even a slight smile from someone who has experienced a lot. Don't worry, there are no secret formulas, just that wisdom that the years have brought, now in the form of care for each night. Small steps, but they make a difference from day one. Let's move forward together to put out the embers and ignite new dreams. While the embers still heat the environment, many feel the consequences of this persistent heat night after night. Sometimes we only realize how much we need rest when we wake up feeling the weight of the world on our shoulders. That's exactly what happened with Alberto. He had no problem sleeping in his youth. In recent years, however, everything has changed. He went to bed reasonably early, but sleep simply didn't come. The eyes closed, but the head seemed to be connected to another frequency. On certain early mornings, Alberto found himself sitting at the kitchen table with a glass of milk, feeling the cold of his hands, holding the cup, and hearing that strange silence, interrupted only by the ticking of the old clock on the wall. The whole world slept except him. The worst thing was that feeling that, deep down, I already knew what would come at dawn. Tiredness, impatience, and a fog hanging over the day. Simple tasks became heavy, as if each decision required extra effort. And when they asked if everything was okay, Alberto forced a smile. But he knew that that energy from other times was gone. It's curious how these details go unnoticed by those who have never really lost sleep. At first glance, it may seem like an exaggeration, but the fact is that sleepless nights take a real toll. The heart races, thoughts become confused, and sometimes even the hands show nervousness, shaking slightly when holding a simple cup. Poor sleep cannot be resolved just with a good Sunday morning in bed or that nap after lunch. Wear builds up silently and stealthily. The cycle repeats itself. Lack of sleep harms your mood, harms your body, and in a short time can even raise your blood pressure. Have you ever noticed how a bad night's sleep seems to last throughout the week? A recent study showed that those who suffer from nighttime anxiety are twice as likely to wake up several times during the night. That's right, it's not just sensation. The brain really becomes alert, as if any noise in the house were a sign of an intruder, a phone call, or a reminder of an expired bill. It seems like there's a button on, preventing us from truly turning off at the end of the day. And when talking about anxiety, a technical term often appears: cortisol. Cortisol is known as the stress hormone. It has an important function, but in excess, especially at night, it prevents the body from entering rest mode. You know that awakening in the middle of the night, with wide eyes and rapid breathing? You bet. Cortisol is calling the shots. In practice, this hormone should start to decrease as soon as it gets dark. But when the mind keeps its worries alive, it continues to run high, disrupting everything. Now think with me. How many times have you heard that worrying before bed is part of getting older? We grew up hearing phrases like, "That's just how life is," or "Those who live a lot think a lot." But is it really mandatory? Or is it just an old habit that we keep because we don't know any other way out? In ancient times, it was common to reserve a moment of calm before going to bed. Do you remember grandmothers who read a piece of the newspaper, made the sign of the cross, or embroidered a few more crochet lines just to slow down? Time seemed to extend during this ritual, giving the body the message that it was time to relax. Now, it seems that we have lost this habit to the rush of the latest cell phone messages and the endless list of tasks for the next day. And so, the confused mind takes the old customs away. Have we left aside what really worked? Here's a thought. When was the last time you, when you went to bed, really felt the weight of your eyes closing gently, without your head insisting on going over bills, words spoken, or small annoyances? Imagining this moment may awaken a pleasant nostalgia, just like the smell of baked bread in the morning when we were children. Everyone has their own way, their own memory of this ritual, but everyone knows how to recognize the sensorial difference of a light night. In the next block, we will understand why these beliefs gain so much strength and, most importantly, how to start changing them, bringing back that feeling of a cool sheet and cozy pillow. Speaking of recovering old habits and feelings of comfort, that time has come to face some ideas that have gained strength over the years, but can keep us from true rest. Have you ever heard that story that people who sleep poorly all their lives end up getting used to it? Many people believe that the body and head simply adjust the rhythm as if it were just a matter of enduring. However, in practice, our body does not adapt to losing nights of sleep. What happens is something else. He starts to show warning signs that many people don't even notice. For example, the little irritation for no reason when waking up, or that deep sigh before getting up, like someone about to face a challenge. The body warns you, without rest, even coffee takes time to take effect. Melatonin, which you may have heard of as the sleep hormone, is the one that should be running the show at night. Melatonin is a natural substance manufactured in our brain when the light goes out. When it subsides, it's as if the theater curtains open with the empty audience. Nothing happens as it should. Those who keep worries burning in the dark leave melatonin shy, and this translates into scratching pillows, tight chests, and thoughts running wild like children at a party. Not even warm milk can help at these times. Many are surprised to discover that age does not determine the intensity of anxiety before bed. It can appear at 20 or at 80 if the mind continues to feed embers instead of putting out the fireplace before going to bed. Recent studies have shown that up to 35% of adults who previously slept well report frequent sleep interruptions due to mild anxiety. And it has nothing to do with retirement or the passage of time. João, for example, now retired, remembers how during a difficult month with his family, he would wake up sweating even with the fan on, just thinking about what could happen. It wasn't age, it was too much thought right before sleep. Contrary to what is generally thought, always taking a little pill to sleep does not solve the fire of these worries. What we usually call benzodiazepines, those light-colored pills that promise a peaceful night, may even give an initial boost, but the real effect is temporary and can leave a hangover in the body. You know, that dry mouth, that morning sluggishness that doesn't seem to go away even after 3 cups of coffee. It's the body asking for care. And there's more. Medicine doesn't put out emotional embers. It only hides the smoke. The benefit of natural restorative sleep comes when the mind finds its own way to slow down. The silence in the room seems greater. The smell of the fresh sheets is more comforting, and when you wake up, you can get up without that weight in your eyes and without tripping over your slipper. Here, I make room for an invitation. Have you ever felt this difference? Do you remember a night when you managed to turn off your thoughts before going to bed and woke up smiling, ready to put the coffee on the stove and open the window? If so, share here in the comments how this was possible for you. Which trick or memory helped calm your mind? Your story can serve as a fireplace to warm other hearts. Taking advantage, if you like these conversations and feel that they make sense, subscribe to the channel and leave your like. So, we continue together, exchanging experiences and finding new ways to breathe deeply before bed. Each night deserves its ritual, its breath of calm. In fact, imagine how many better nights we could have just by relearning to let go of the weight of our thoughts before the first stars appear in the sky. With small changes, the pillow can once again become an ally and not the scene of silent battles. Closing your eyes peacefully is a daily achievement. In the next step, I'll show you how to turn small nighttime attitudes into practical solutions, setting the stage for your body and mind to be ready for a pleasurable, smoke-free night's sleep. Stay with me, because those embers are almost out. Those embers of thought are almost out, so it's time to give space to simple practices that transform the night. Many people have discovered that small rituals serve as good firewood, but this time to fuel a serene, stable, and comforting fire. If peaceful nights call for discreet attitudes, why not adjust your routine to add rest instead of worry? What if you tried adopting a gratitude list at the end of the day? Writing down just before bed 3 simple reasons to be grateful helps limit worries, shifting the focus to positive memories. Try using a soft touch pad of paper or even a note-taking app. The secret is writing, not just thinking. Leave the notebook on the bedside table, along with your favorite pen. As soon as you put on your pajamas, take 2 minutes to record good memories from the day, like a grandchild's smile during lunch or the aroma of freshly brewed coffee. This simple practice slows down the mind, helps the body realize that the day's marathon is over, and encourages restful sleep. Don't like writing by hand? Record a short audio on your cell phone, using your own voice. The important thing is to slowly savor the pleasant moments before closing your eyes. During breakfast, another practical strategy can be rescued from ancient times: soothing chamomile-based tea. Contrary to what you might think, it's not just teas that soothe. The combination of chamomile and lavender creates a relaxing aroma and prepares the body even at dusk. To try, put 2 teaspoons of dried chamomile flowers with half a teaspoon of dried lavender in 1 cup of hot water. Simmer for 8 minutes, strain and serve warm, preferably up to an hour before bed. The delicate floral scent can be enhanced by adding a drop of honey if you want a soft touch. If the floral flavor is not to your liking, try mixing a small piece of apple or orange peel into the infusion. To remember, always leave the tea box close to the kettle or coffee maker so the habit fits naturally into your routine. Many people think that exercising at night only interferes with sleep, but light movement can be essential allies. Use gentle, slow movements. Stretch your neck, make shoulder circles, or simply bring your hands to your toes while sitting in bed. The direct benefit? The body gets the right message of, now it's time to switch off. If stretching isn't your thing, try 5 minutes of deep breathing, inhaling through your nose, counting to 4, and slowly releasing the air through your mouth. Try doing this with calm music in the background. Sounds of rain, for example, help calm the senses. A useful tip: set a reminder on your cell phone to ring 20 minutes before your usual bedtime, indicating relaxation time. Or, for those who prefer visual methods, hang a colorful ribbon on the bedroom doorknob, remembering to practice the new ritual. In this process of change, Helena's story emerges. She spent months jumping from medication to medication, always waking up in the middle of the night with a warm pillow and the fan spinning uselessly. One day, after hearing from a friend about the gratitude list, she decided to try it. She chose a notebook with a daisy cover and set aside 5 minutes before turning off the light. At first, she felt strange and even laughed to herself, noting nice tea at night as a positive point. But a few days later, he noticed that his hands were no longer shaking while holding the cup, and his heart was beating more rhythmically. The indoor fireplace seemed to finally begin to burn without smoke. It's funny how we adapt, the same way you spend a month looking for new glasses, but need weeks to remember to wear them outside the house. With each try, the new habit fits better. Have you tried any of these practices? Leave a comment telling us which one worked, or tell a funny adaptation story. Now that the embers are turning to ash and calm begins to fill the spaces, in the next block we will adjust this ritual together, detailing the step-by-step so that any night can be the starting point for mornings full of lightness. Get ready to experiment. Sometimes a new habit is as good as those old pajamas you never want to give up. New habits are already starting to gain space in the routine, but there are still details left to transform the restless embers into peaceful comfort. During those slightly more restless nights, trying guided breathing techniques can be a game changer. Think of that old advice too. Take a deep breath before responding, only applied at bedtime. Sitting comfortably in bed, closing your eyes and breathing deeply for 4 seconds, holding the air for another 4, and slowly releasing it for the same amount of time, creates an island of suspicion between one concern and another. This rhythm, called 4-4-4 breathing, serves as a mental blanket, slowing the heart and lulling the body, much like a childhood lullaby. To make it easier, it's worth putting on some background music. It can range from nature sounds to that soft instrumental melody, just like the ones played on radio programs at dusk. To avoid losing practice, leave a colorful post-it stuck to the lampshade or set a discreet alarm signaling time for a breather. Another almost forgotten solution, but now making a comeback, is the use of aromas to relax before sleep. Different from perfuming the house as we did for visits, here the proposal is to create an aroma of rest. A homemade pillow spray can be prepared by mixing 80 milliliters of filtered water, 10 ml of grain alcohol, and 8 drops of lavender essential oil in a clean spray bottle. Before going to sleep, lightly spray the scent on your pillow and wait a minute or 2 before lying down. The floral scent awakens memories of old gardens and lazy afternoons on the balcony, little by little calming the mind. For those who have allergies or prefer to avoid scents, a cotton bag with dried chamomile or basil leaves can serve as an alternative, placing it close to the pillow without direct contact. Everyone finds comfort in their own time and smell. Helena, on that same path of self-discovery, decided it was time to combine her newly adopted gratitude lists with her new breathing and scent routine. He chose soft background music, and each night he took a few minutes to breathe deeply, list his whispered thanks, spray the perfume on the pillow, and lie down. In a few weeks, something clearly changed. He started sleeping for 6 hours straight, waking up before the alarm clock, feeling the morning breeze coming through the now open window. The nighttime anxiety gave way to an unprecedented feeling of tranquility. Your son, when calling, noticed the new sound of laughter on the other end of the line. The pillow, once the scene of agitated thoughts, was now the territory of serene dreams. The cycle of insomnia was broken with a ritual, one breath at a time. No major change comes without setbacks. In the first few days, the doubt arises. Is it worth insisting? Sleep can take a while to adapt. The pad of paper can be forgotten on the bedside table, and the spray recipe can make the pillow a little too wet. At least now it smells like the countryside. You might laugh. The important thing is to remember how your grandmothers taught. Sewing at night with patience and small gestures, day after day, guarantees a complete blanket. If you don't feel like it one day, listen to the smell of cake in the oven or the old sound of the radio, all done calmly, as if every day were Sunday afternoon. Look now at the small achievements of this path: nights of continuous sleep, waking up ready at first light, easier laughter, a body without the usual stiffness. If before Helena tossed and turned in bed, today she enjoys the pleasant warmth of the duvet while the world still sleeps. The benefit is in the details. Less heavy sighing at the end of the day, more energy to go for a walk in the morning, less need for medication, and more desire to make plans with the family. So here's an invitation. If you tried any of these rituals or adapted them your way, share in the comments how it went. Tell us which smell, list, or breath made the difference. And now take the opportunity to subscribe to the channel, Activate notifications, leave a like, and share with that friend or relative who deserves to sleep better. And here's the challenge of the week. Choose one of these practices and record for 7 nights how you woke up. It can be writing it down on a sheet of paper, recording an audio, or simply noticing your mood when opening the curtain. Then come back here to tell us. Your experience can still be an inspiration to others. Remember that any change in routine deserves discussion with a trusted doctor, especially if you are already taking medication or living with specific conditions. Each week will bring you new help to make your nights smoother and smoother. And so, little by little and together, we extinguish the embers of anxiety and light a silent fireplace where only the warmth of calm remains. After all, the art of rediscovered rest is like yesterday's bread that, heated on the griddle, takes on the flavor of new joy.